Hello friends, welcome back. Tonight I'm gonna make, or today I should say, I'm gonna make pizza dough. It's very simple, very straightforward. I start off with 600 grams of flour. Now I should note that half of this flour is soft wheat flour, or sometimes called pizza flour. It's in the supermarket very often, it's double O or double zero. So it's 300 grams of soft wheat flour and then 300 grams of whatever flour I like. Sometimes I add bread flour and sometimes I add all-purpose flour. Now here I've added all-purpose flour. So 600 grams of flour. I should note that these analogies are for 3 medium-sized pizzas. So we have 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 sachet of dried yeast, you could also use fresh if that is what you prefer, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 300 milliliters of water. You will not need all of this water, but you should know that the water that your flour will need will not always be the same. Today is a sunny day, it's a warm day, so I may need more water than I would otherwise need if it was a rainy day or cloudy. One important tip that you need to take into consideration has to do with the heat of the water. When I put my finger in the water, it's just barely warm, and that is exactly what I want. Because yeast is a live organism, if the water is boiling or very hot, it may kill the yeast. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that the water is not too warm, and the closer to your body temperature it is, and just a tad warmer, the better. So with no further ado, I will show you how I make my pizza dough. Okay friends, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to start getting your yeast going. So I have 1 sachet of yeast, and you could use any vessel you want. This for me works. So I put my yeast inside first. And now I will add a little bit of my water, like I said, is just a little bit warmer than body temperature. I don't want to use all of the water because I may not use it all, and I don't want to have my yeast go to waste. So this is good. I will add this, and here I also have 1 teaspoon of sugar. Sugar will help, sugar is food for the yeast, so it will help it get in motion. And what I will do is I will just mix it. Okay. This is great. So I will leave this sit for 10 minutes until the yeast is activated. So in the meantime, I'm gonna add my my salt, which is 2 teaspoons, and my olive oil, which is 1 tablespoon. This is extremely easy to do. And I will just mix together. So I will mix everything together for the next couple of minutes, and I will wait for about extra 8 minutes until this is about 10 minutes with the yeast, and then I will come back to you. Okay friends, we're back. 10 minutes have passed, and I'm ready to continue on with making my pizza dough. So I'm gonna add now my yeast mixture. I'm gonna add just a little bit more water, just to make sure that I get all of it in. And now I will stir. It's always a good idea to add your water little by little, because like I said before, you never know exactly how much water you're going to need. Obviously this is not enough. I just want to incorporate first the yeast as well as I can into the flour mixture. So once the dough has somewhat solidified, you leave the spoon and you start using your hands. So this is very easy, and you know, oftentimes you see people also taking the dough outside of their bowl and kneading it on their table. You can do this. It's messier though, and really there's no reason to, you know, you could just know this knead this very easily inside the bowl. So you don't have to make very much of a mess either. So what you could do now is, if you for you to knead it for a few minutes, you could always just flip it in two, fold it in two, and then just knead. And then fold it in two again, and then just knead. What I'm going to do though now is I'm going to turn on my oven to 50 degrees, which is minimum, for 5 minutes. So by the time I finish kneading this, I'm covering it with some transparent plastic paper. I will put that in the oven that I have preheated only for 5 minutes, and let it sit for an hour, and you will see the result. Okay friends, we're back. This has been kneaded for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I've preheated the oven for about 5 minutes. So what you do is you cover your bowl, transparent plastic wrap. Turn off my oven now. So what you do is you just transfer your pizza dough into your oven. Let it sit for 1 hour, and until it doubles in size, and I'll show you what you do next. So I'll see you in an hour. Hello friends, we're back. Our dough is ready. Here it is. It's more than doubled. So what we're going to do now is going to remove the top. We'll get rid of this for now. And what we'll do is this out. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of dough. What I want to do is weigh this. Excellent. So these 3 dough balls now are equal, are even. And so we have 3 dough balls, and it's very easy to knead these dough balls. All you do is, you could do it in very different ways. What I usually do is I just fold it within itself and just push down. Fold it within itself and push down. Fold it within itself and push down. So I will do this for a few minutes. And I will be with you to show you what I do next. So I've kneaded this for maybe 1 minute. You don't really need to knead the pizza dough ball for very long. What you can do also is, when you fold it within itself, oftentimes you can also then pinch the bottom part together and just flip it on the table and just pull on it, keeping it stable and just pulling. stable and just pulling. This tightens up the dough ball, right? And it's easier to pinch afterwards and to make it into one. Now, I'm going to repeat this process with the other two dough balls, but what I'm going to do is, because I'm not going to make pizza tonight, I'm going to store this. But in general, whenever I let them rise for the second time, I flatten them. I flatten them because I want them to expand almost like a meat patty, which will result in me having to work less in order to flatten it completely in order to make the pizza dough. So that will help me even use my hands if I want to flatten the dough. I won't need to not necessarily use a rolling pin, but the advantage when you have a flattened the dough ball is the fact that you need to work the dough less in order to flatten it completely, so less gluten is produced. So it makes it for a less resilient dough ball. See how it's really nice. Okay. This looks great. So in order to ensure that this will not stick to the table, just put some flour here, and what I will do, I will just cover this, and I will let this double in size, like before. So, and I will repeat the same process with these 3 dough balls. So I will be back with you in approximately an hour. Hello friends, we're back. I have let the pizza doughs to rise for a second time. So as you can see, these doughs are not, this is beautiful. These doughs are not round, but they're flat. They're more like a patty, like I said, which will make it a lot easier for them to be opened, flattened afterwards. So because of the fact that I'm not going to make pizza tonight, what I will do is I will store them. So this makes making pizza very, very easy, because once you have the dough already, you don't have to spend a lot of time. This is very, very fast. What you do is just remove it from the freezer, because I will freeze this, and let it defrost, and you have pizza in no time at all. Flour just a little bit. This is very soft. This is great. And here we are. And I will put this in another bag, and I will put this in the freezer. So this is how you store and make pizza dough. I hope this was useful for you, and I look